Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis Media once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. I know I'm in a different area. I should be in my room making this video, but I feel like I want to do this in a different area. I'm at some place right now that really isn't that important, but I'll be back in my room soon. But anyways, let me get to this because I have like 9 minutes of video on here. This time I'm going to be talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is directed by Quentin Tarantino, stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Leonardo DiCaprio plays Rick Dalton, and he's like a movie star. He's like in westerns and TV shows and stuff like that. And we basically see through his life, and not just his life, but in Brad Pitt's life, as living in Hollywood and situations go on with other people going along. And the movie is basically a 2.5 hour long film about just having a lot of dialogue, just in like most Quentin Tarantino movies, and other stuff like that. Now, I was really looking forward to this movie. I have enjoyed all of Quentin Tarantino's movies, so I was really hoping this movie was going to be good, and luckily it was. This movie was absolutely fantastic, although I feel like this is going to be one of Quentin Tarantino's more divisive films, mainly because it's supposed to be based on this like story that did supposedly happen in reality, but when Quentin Tarantino told it, he added a little stuff that didn't actually happen in the story, and that's gonna kind of turn some people off in terms of. I think that's what some people's biggest issues were the story not making a whole lot of sense. But I feel like it's one of those movies that you have to rewatch a lot if in case you want to in case you want to get the entire thing, because Tarantino is known for making some really gritty films. This is one of his most least violent movies, but that didn't really bother me because I was interested in the dialogue. Because that's one thing I love about Tarantino's movies is he has his movies have a lot of dialogue in them, and the dialogue is just so interesting, and so that it just makes it go by a whole lot faster. In my opinion, that's what made Pulp Fiction so great. I mean, of course, because of its characters, its performances. Performances in this are honestly out of this world. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt have never poorly acted in a movie before, and this movie is no different. This movie has a really big cast. You got Margot Robbie, Al Pacino, and Al Pacino's really good in this movie too, even though he wasn't in the movie that much. But in terms of and we have some people over there. Let me just pause real quick. But yeah, Quentin Tarantino's movies are known for having really, really big scenes with dialogue and stuff, like Inglourious Basterds and other films. And like I said before, the writing here is also very comedic. It's very well told. And, sometimes it'll jump from, Leonardo DiCaprio to Brad Pitt, and Leonardo to Brad Pitt. And it just, it does that multiple times. And I'm not sure how most people are going to feel about that. Like, they're not on screen together a whole lot. They are at the beginning and later down the road near the end of the film, which I'm not going to spoil. But I could say the last 30 minutes of this movie is probably the most entertaining part of the entire movie. Not to say that, not the other scenes were entertaining. They really were. And like I said before, this is definitely a lot different than what I was expecting for Tarantino to make, because Hateful Eight, that was a really, really gritty, really violent film with a lot of scenes of dialogue and stuff like that. Although this isn't as long as that, just 10 minutes off. But I can say I probably like this a bit more than the Hateful Eight. So overall, guys, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is what I was expecting it to be, although it was a little bit different than. Well, it was what I was hoping for it to be. An entertaining, fun time at the movies. Leonardo DiCaprio was great, Brad Pitt was great, Al Pacino, Margot Robbie, everybody else, they were terrific in this movie. It's a movie that you need to rewatch multiple times. It'll take you some time to progress, like what actually just happened, like what the entire film was about. Because I know it is supposed to be like, I wouldn't necessarily say based on a true story, but it's a story that Tarantino has seen before, and he's telling it basically his sort of way, differently. because, well, if I talk more, that would be spoiling. But all in all, I could say this is another fantastic film from Tarantino. I'm gonna give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 4.5 out of 5. This movie was Tarantino at his absolute finest. It's not his best film, but I could say this is absolutely probably one of his top 5 best. I could say, DiCaprio definitely deserves another Oscar for this. So glad he did when he won his role for The Revenant. Let's see what happens with this. But thank you guys so much for watching. I just felt like, I just didn't want all the noise with the dog and stuff. I felt like, because that's basically why I don't make a whole lot of videos, just because of the dog at my house. But I'm going to be having a lot more updates for you guys. I promise another chat with Matt will be coming in August. I swear, I mean it. Alright, because I really need to get back on track with that, because I haven't done it in months. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.